I forgot if I set it on HD. Good morning, happy Monday, everyone. So, guess there's no better place to start than my Loma Hama act of kindness, and they're all interconnected, which makes things easier. Full stop. My family is visiting from Ohio for the week, and yesterday was just spending the day with them the entire day, which was absolutely wonderful. And I think you know where this is going. My low is, I'm not really going to be able to see them until Friday. Naturally, I'm kind of bummed about that. I mean, here's the thing. What happened was, okay, back earlier this year, actually at the end of near the end of last year, my mom had, semi-retired. She's working per diem. And normally my family that visits from Ohio, they do come up for a week every year. But they kind of give us notice ahead of time. But this year they wanted to be a little more respectful for the fact that my mom was retired and they didn't really quite know how to plan that. So I guess a little bit of miscommunication there, I suppose. I mean, listen, there have been times when that family has visited for the week and we weren't able to spend time with them because we were working. That's happened before. But, I mean, this year for me hits different because, full stop, I actually have spending time with them on my 2025 bucket list, which technically I could check it off now if I want to. But there's something to be said about how much better it is when you spend even like a few extra minutes with family. It really does make a difference. Maybe not at first, but in the long run it does. So, I just heard someone outside playing their radio in their car really loud. Anyway, so all I can do now is pray that 96 hours from now, that video will be taking place up at the lake, and I will be in the middle of preparing to spend their last day here. Full disclosure, this week shouldn't be bad. Next week, though, I am not looking forward to. There's just so many things going on next week, and I mean, thankfully, it's like one thing per day, but it's also kind of important. So, I suppose it is what it is. So, with that in mind, pretty obvious. My low is I miss my family being up at the lake right now. Listen, how many videos have I done where they were on Mondays and they were exactly what you'd expect? Back to the old grind. So, yeah, I guess I'm kind of feeling that more now, is the problem. But my high is I got to spend time with my family at all, which is great. Plus, they may be visiting again later in fall, so I guess I won't have to wait a whole year to see them again. Yeah, that's actually, seriously, I've been looking forward to seeing them again since the end of last year, when they visited. So, yeah, it is, even for a day, it is nice to just miss them. And my act of kindness was I helped my parents get the cottage ready for their arrival. Cleaned up the beach, vacuumed, cleaned up some things, helped out, you name it. And honestly, yesterday was just a really great day. I mean, actually, these first 3 days in August have been phenomenal. I mean, I spent the entire day with my mom, which emotionally I really needed. The second, got my car washed and went to Rec Brewing Company's 1 year anniversary being opened, as well as having dinner with my family. And on the third, I spent the entire day with my family from Ohio. I mean, honestly, that's great. I guess, and unfortunately, it kind of is a double-edged sword, you know? Like, it's great that things like that happen in the span of 3 days, but it hits all the harder when it's over. And things gotta go back to the way they were. Yeah, I talk about that. I'm still a little on the tired side, but it is what it is. If nothing else, though, we do have a One Piece manga chapter to read. Let's get that started, shall we? Okay, so. Right. I forgot my computer needed to do some updates, so took care of that. Come to think of it, shouldn't this be the 21st One Piece manga chapter of 2025? Let me look it up. I think this is, because we haven't had a chapter in about 2 weeks. So I think it might be 21. 21, 22, maybe. Oh, it is. Cool. It is 20. The 21st One Piece manga chapter of 2025. Awesome. I will need to write that down somewhere. But before we do any of that, let's read it, shall we? So, without further ado, One Piece. Sorry, I clicked on the thing. One Piece, chapter 1156. Idols. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. A few chapters ago, Loki started having his flashback, which then became King Harold's flashback, which now became Roxy Zebek's flashback, and it appears that now we're in Gold D. Rogers' flashback. Have you guys ever heard of the movie Inception? Where, like, the lower you go, the closer you get to limbo? Like, I think at level 5 you get to limbo, and we're at level 4. Which is crazy. But anyway, the narrator, who I believe is Loki, still talking. Okay. Okay, so the Kuja Pirates. Hey, Gloriosa. Future Grandma Nyon. Okay. Okay. Hey, Tritoma. If you don't know who Tritoma is, first Gloriosa was the Empress of Amazon Lily, then Shaki, and then Tritoma, and then Boa Hancock. See, if you don't know, the Empresses of Amazon Lily will eventually succumb to something called love sickness, where if they do not pursue the person they fall in love with, they will actually die. And sadly, Tritoma did succumb to love sickness, and she didn't pursue the man that she loved. And she died. That's literally what happens. It's actually why Boa Hancock is obsessed with Luffy. Because Luffy is the man who made her feel lovesick. In the case of Gloriosa, it would appear that it's Roger. what's funny is Roger doesn't have feelings for Gloriosa. She has feelings for Gloriosa's first mate, Shaki. Who Shaki would eventually fall in love with Roger's first mate, Silver's Rayleigh. It's really cool to see how this is all working out. Oh my gosh. Obviously Roger has feelings for Shaki, but Shaki doesn't return the favor. But she sees Rayleigh. She's like, gives him a wink, and Rayleigh is like, what am I supposed to do? Oh gosh. This is funny. I mean, most people would read this and think, oh no, they're not going to do love triangles. I'm like, no. Oda would know not to deal with any of that nonsense. And even if he did, if there's any author who'd be able to write himself out of a problem like that, it'd be him. So, I'm not worried. Ooh, a young Garp versus a young Roger. This should be interesting. Oh, dude. They're clashing. And this is when they were, like, keep in mind, this is when Garp and Roger were, like, young. Like, probably at their very youngest, very, very, very late teens. Bare minimum, their youngest. I imagine, actually, crap, I forgot how old they are here. Shoot. Unfortunately, unless you're really paying attention to the timeline, it's hard to remember how old someone is in One Piece. But I'd say at their youngest, very late teens, very early 20s. That's how old Garp and Roger are. Maybe mid-20s. Shoot, I forgot. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Okay, now we're finally back at LMAP. All right. So, that's cute. Ida's really. Here's the thing. Ida is really nice to Loki, even though technically Loki isn't her kid. But, okay, seriously. I don't think Ida gets enough credit for who she is. I mean, if you haven't been able to keep up, she's Harold's first wife. But because she's not of royal giant blood, she can't enter the throne with Hardin, her son. So Harold married Estrid, who, let's be honest, is a total bitch. Gave birth to Loki. Would not show Loki any love or affection, and Loki gave up on love, happiness, all that. Except when he met Rox, though. He really thinks that Rox is his idol. But Ida doesn't care. Like, this is a child who, the father's away a lot, which obviously she would know because, Hardin is also Harold's son too. So she's like, why don't you come live with us? And Loki's like, no, you just want to be all nice so you can live in the castle with us. And Ida doesn't feel that way at all. She's just a genuinely nice person. Well, giant, but still. That's sweet. Oh. One of the little kids is like, I hate the way Loki talks to you, Ida. It's not fair. Oh. And here's what's funny. People are convinced that all the natural disasters that have happened over the years is because of Loki's quote-unquote curse. And Loki even returns the favor, saying, I hate all of you too. You should be happy that I want to leave. Man, that's, in a way, it's both funny and sad. I mean, it's funny because due to the fact that Loki, it's leading to some comedic drawings. That's why I think it's funny. But you have people like Ida showing Loki affection. And remember, Loki's not Ida's kid. She doesn't have to do that. But Ida's just that nice of a character. Oh my gosh. I mean, obviously, when Loki talks bad about Ida, Hard has to step in because that's his mom. You gotta defend your mom, Unfortunately, because Loki has the ancient giant blood, even though he's the younger sibling, he's taller than Harden. So, yeah. If you couldn't tell, Harden, while technically the firstborn, can't be the real king of Elbaf because he doesn't have royal giant blood in him. He does, but he's, let's call it is, a bastard child. He is. That's what it is. It's sad, but it's true. Okay, now apparently we're back at Hachinosu. Ooh, before the skull storm. Hey, the Rock Spark. Dude, that's Silver Axe? They talked about him before being in the Rock Spark too, but if I can see what Silver Axe looks like. Ooh. Okay, so Rox is telling everyone the plan. So there's 2 devil fruits he wants. One of them is most likely on Elbaf, which is probably the royal devil fruit that eventually Loki would eat. So, all of the Rox pirates are there. Captain John, Charlotte Lynn Landon, and her partner Streisand, Edward Newgate or Whitebeard, Pirate Barbell, the Catfish Fishman, a young Kaido, Wang Zi and Ochoku were there too, Silver Axe, Golden Lion Shiki, Gloriosa, Buckingham Stussy. Actually, I think this is before. This looks like it's before Gloriosa joined. We'll see. What the? Dude. This double color spread, this double page spread of the Rox Pirates is badass. Okay. So, Rox definitely wants to take down the Holy Land. And in order to do that, they need the giants. Okay. Alright. Okay. I like how Kaido says, listen, do we really need to deal with Harold? I mean, just crush him and make him obey you. And Rock's like, shut up, Harold's my pal. Oh, pal, quote unquote. All they did was clash swords and, Rox wants him to join, but Harold won't do it. That's all it is. Man, I could stare at the Rox Pirates all day. That's how badass they all look. Well, eventually at some point are we gonna get the God Valley flash? Are we actually gonna see what happens in God Valley? Which is when the Rox Pirates fell and were disbanded? I mean, listen, for those who don't know, one of the main reasons why the Rocks Pirates disbanded was because, I mean, every single member of that pirate crew is nothing but alpha males or females, because there are some women in this crew. When you get that many personalities like that, you're not going to have a very stable relationship. That's just not how it works. I don't know what the next chapter is going to be, and it would appear that we got to wait 2 weeks again. But you know what? So be it. Come to think of it, the next probably 2 weeks are going to be a bit of a hassle. Because, I mean, next week is really mostly just appointments that I have, as well as I may or may not be volunteering for something. But I guess we'll get there when we get there. I hope you like this video. If you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humbled that I made this video. For all of you guys watching, enjoy for today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. And remember, if you guys want to talk, channel, always be here to let me know. Always your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.